Hello and welcome back to Modify Part 2. In this video, we are going to continue working on a Modify. We did stop right before array and I believe it was this one and a couple of more things I will cover it in this video. To begin with, I'm going to start with array. If you have a chair on this side, and let me just move it. If I select this chair and if I select array, notice you do have two options. You can go with linear or radial, which is pretty much the same and exact the same as polar array. Once you select this, notice second is checked. If I pick a point on it, move my mouse, let the mouse go. If I type in 10 means 10 feet from first chair to next chair. Now Revit is asking me how many chairs. If I type in 10, now I do have 20. I do have 10 chairs. Undo. Now assume you're going to have 10 chairs between this point and this point on this wall only. Then I'm going to use array. Now I'm going to use option last. I'm going to start from this point to this point. Now Revit is asking me how many do you like to have. If I type in 20, then Revit is going to place a 20 in between. I hope it did make sense. Now let's practice it one more time on a new drawing. If I go to south elevations, if I select this level, notice on top again back to array, back to linear. If I select second, pick a point at the end, move my mouse up. If I type in 10, means 10 feet level to level. 20, see how quickly I can generate 20 levels. But if you notice, all these levels that I did use array, they all in black, and these two original layer levels are in blue. Means what? Means I do not have associated level for the black colors. If you look at this project browser, I do have level 1, level 2 in blue. I do have associated levels inside project browser, but for the black levels, I have to generate levels by going to view, by selecting plan views, and here is floor plan. If I pick everything at once and hit OK, now Revit is going to generate 20 levels for me. They all listed inside my project browser. And also back to plan views, reflected ceiling plans, RCP. If you like to see, you can just, if you like to see your ceiling plans, you can just select it again and hit OK. For this example, I'm not going to generate ceiling plans, but for you to know, anytime you see this icon active inside view, close hidden is active, please close all the hidden views. It just makes your job a lot faster. Now if I type in WT, notice how many levels you have open. Therefore you can just expand one and just close all the hidden views. Now I'm going to close this file. Back to closing. If I, unlike AutoCAD, if I select this icon, it means I'm going to close only one view. To close a project, you must go to big R, you have to select close. Now back to this array. Again, I'm going to select my chair. I'm going to select array, option radial. I'm going to use second. Please watch this carefully. I have to drag my insertion point to the middle of the table. Back to the table, back to the chair, pick a point, move your mouse, let the mouse go. If I type in 45, enter. Now Revit is asking me how many. If I type in 8, I do have 8 chairs within 45 degrees away from each other. Now I'm going to undo it. I'm going to do it one more time in a different, using option number 2. If I select this chair, back to array, again, I'm going to drag this one to the middle of the table, but I'm going to check this box, make sure last is checked. I'm going to pick a point here, angle 360, but this time I have to type it inside this box. It's kind of tricky, but you will get used to it. If I type in 8, again, I do have 8 chairs. If you practice it a couple of times, I'm sure you would remember. One thing that I forgot to mention is anytime you use array, Revit is going to create a group for you. Therefore, you have to select an ungroup in order to modify each element. Each element that you used within your group. Back to modify. We did practice on a split element. You can just cut inside the wall, then you can change the type of the wall. Now let's use this option. This option is split with gap. If I pick a point here and zoom into it, if I change my view to thin lines, notice Revit is going to create a gap for you. By default, Revit is going to give you 1 inch unless you unlock it and unless you change the dimension to something different. If I type in 20, I do have 20 feet, and here is the gap. Again, modify, split with gap. Notice joint gap is 1 inch. You can change it here, or you can just pick a point here and then unlock and then select this number and change it to 8 feet. Oh, I'm sorry, I just did something wrong. Let's select it, undo, select, that's it. I forgot to unlock it. Pin. If in Revit, unlike AutoCAD, we do not have lock layers. We cannot lock our layers. But if I select this, if I select pin, now it is locked. It means I can select it, I cannot move it, I cannot do any editing. In order to edit it, I have to unlock it, then I can select and edit it. I believe between these two videos for modify, I believe we did cover everything inside the inside modify, and also measure. I forgot to mention measure. Pretty much the same as distance in AutoCAD. You can select 2 points, then Revit gives you the length of it. Inside the box, you are going to see the length of it, and you do have this measure. It goes along an element. It's just if you have any element And to be honest with you, what I like to do is I prefer to select my element and look at it inside the property to see the size of it, and also any other parameters that I like to see. Well, I hope you enjoy it. Have fun and take care.